5, 4, 3, 2. Jeffrey, you can do the intro.
Oh, thank God. I feel like I can finally talk now because Mike always kept on saying prior to us that for the podcast, it's in my contract not to talk. But welcome back, gentlemen. Maybe it's only men only. We need some ladies. Is there any lady listeners? No, there's probably not, but it's all good.
Not yet.
Random rants with you guys and know a little bit about everything. I feel a little dumb today because we have to talk about something that really killed my brain cells. But it's Jeff, Mike, Juan.
What up?
So,
all right. Wait, before you start, so people can understand.
You better get open.
So the thing is, we have this long running thing about Keanu Reeves. John Wick. So Jeff has this theory that John Wick is more popular than Keanu Reeves. So Jeff, I'm just kidding. Jeff, hold on now.
All right,
you because you're gonna get the floor, and I know it's gonna go all down here from here. So I need the people with a more positive attitude. Is John Wick more famous than Keanu Reeves?
Come on, man. First of all, Keanu Reeves can't do no wrong. Everybody knows that. If the movie flop, it's everybody else's fault except his, of course. The darling of Hollywood. Doesn't even put his hands on the women when he takes pictures with them. Takes subways, average dudes, and is a monster with memes. Who got more memes than him? I mean, sad. Everybody loves sad Keanu Reeves. So, is John Wick more popular? John Wick I would say, is his best 3 movies he's done recently. But no, I would disagree with that.
All right. Okay. I get what Jeffrey trying to do, and I ain't gonna fall for it. Because Keanu Reeves is extremely popular. Juan just hit on everything. The man can do no wrong in Hollywood. He's a darling of Hollywood now. He wasn't always. They tried to destroy him for whatever reason. We know the reasons. They tried to destroy him, and then he picked himself up. To your credit, Jeff, and to your point, it was with John Wick, right? That is kind of what changed him. That put him back in the spotlight because 47 Ronin wasn't that good, and I can't remember what knock knock. I think he did or something like that. That wasn't that good. But since The Matrix, like Juan said, it was his best trilogy of movies. Just John Wick is amazing. Jeff, this is not about John Wick, so we don't need to hear it. So we gonna just humbly disagree with you, Jeffrey, that John Wick is not more famous than Keanu Reeves. You can say what you want to say before I ask you the next question. All right, the floor is yours, Jeffrey.
So, number one, Keanu Reeves was no more after John Wick grew his hair. Number one. That's not that Keanu Reeves. For the other thing, okay, maybe I should say no, I have to say it. John is more popular than Keanu Reeves because number one, John Wick killed Keanu Reeves. He murdered him. Doesn't exist before.
My whole life makes sense now.
Yo, it's like John Wick murdered. So that was the impossible task.
That's why he always has long hair now.
That's why he always has long hair. Yo, he took over. So Jeff, because you said that, right? You saw, admittedly, and I can't believe we have to admit this, unless Juan done betrayed me, he actually watched it. I think you're the only person among us who watched the Matrix Resurrection.
I tried to watch it.
What? You didn't finish it?
It was impossible to finish. It was the hardest task of my life. I've never watched a movie that was that difficult to get through.
Oh,
I thought 007 was tough. Whatever that movie was, The Matrix or whatever, Assimilation, whatever it was probably
this one, that Resurrection. I think it was Resurrection, Jeff. Hold on. So you don't have
name on purpose.
So to say you didn't like it is an understatement. Like, and why do you think it failed though? Like, why? Oh, so, all jokes aside, for you personally, like, why? Like, why?
This might sound like a joke, but I don't think it is. Mm-hmm. I think The Matrix was their attempt at validating the fact that John Wick killed Keanu Reeves.
Oh, this man. That is a joke, Jeff.
If you watch the movie, they were almost like validating the fact that John Wick killed Keanu Reeves.
So did you? So was he like that though? Like, did he feel like Keanu Reeves to you? I mean, did he feel like me or did he feel like John Wick? Legit, like, no. All jokes aside, he felt like John Wick.
He felt like John Wick.
That's weird. I know that. And Juan, go before I say what I was about to say.
No, I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't judge it, but it has been a crazy flop. There are a lot of reasons, like a lot of people say, but I was defending it at first because, well, it came out in the second week of Spider-Man, you know, a juggernaut, right? Mm-hmm. It also did a non-exclusive deal, so it came out simultaneously on HBO. Is it HBO? HBO. Mm-hmm. And came on theaters. Which Universal, that whole project they've been doing has just been a colossal flop. Somebody calculated they've lost over $100 million for doing Universal? For doing the 1-on-1 coming out simultaneously on HBO and coming out, but. With all that said, it's hard to defend it because that same week a cartoon came out. I think it's called Sing
2. Oh my God, yeah,
it did. I mean, it did amazing, but it did like 30 million or something like that. And on the second week, the same week that came out, that Spider-Man came out, right? And then
hold on real quick. When I say did amazing, not so much as numbers. I didn't mean it that way. I mean like the reception from like fans and. Like, critics, like, I'm a data person, like statistically, like,
yeah.
So don't forget what you're about to say, but just really quick so people kind of get like a gauge, right? Like Jeffrey didn't like it, hated it, couldn't even finish it. But in all fairness, Jeffrey not finishing a movie is not indicative of the movie being good or bad. I just feel like it's fair for me to say that. It took you some days to watch some really good movies. But I do understand what you're saying, and I think the numbers support it, right? So with The Matrix Resurrection, from everybody's amazing, the aggregator, which is Rotten Tomatoes, usually there's a divisiveness, right, with certain movies. And in this case, it's not. It's 64% the tomato meter and 63% fans. So even by that 1%, that margin, the critics liked it a tad bit more than the fans. And it's still not even a well-received movie.
Critics are stupid, bro.
But I'm saying, that's not 60s is not that bad. But
no, it's not. No, it's not at all.
The money is the problem, and I think one of the biggest issues. Well, like I was saying, like the other cartoon movie did good, despite it being the second week, and other people could say, well, this is an old IP, so maybe that it's because the fan base is not as big as people thought. But other movies in a similar position has done better. For example, King Kong. Mortal Kombat, what else? Ghostbusters, all old IPs that came back and made money. And on top of that, The Matrix had a head start because technically they only made 12 million, but I know that they made I think it was 22 million with the extension because they start off on Wednesday instead of the regular Friday. So with the extension, they made 22 million. Even with that, they got crushed by all the movies I said that was exclusive and old IPs as well, and still got crushed. Now, so right now it's inexcusable, but there has been movies in the past that has risen from the ashes, like for example, that movie with I think it's called You. Is it You? With Deadpool in it, not Deadpool.
right, Free Guy. You talking Free Guy?
Oh, is it Free Guy?
It has to be Free Guy because that was the last movie he did in Red Notice.
Yeah, so I believe it was Free Guy then. Free Guy started off bad, similar to the Matrix, and went on to make over, I think it was 300 million. Not million.
Made 331 million.
Yeah, 300 million. Yeah. So I'm not saying that it's gonna make that 300 million. I'm saying that it could still have a later boost that can bring it to, you know, the 100 and 100 million, past the 100 million mark, because it can be Keanu Reeves, because John Wick 2 and 3 did, I think, 150 and 300 million. So I have the expectation that maybe it will have a late rise and save itself. But one thing that Free Guy has that the Matrix doesn't have is word of mouth.